news for you. Amen. Now listen. Hey, everybody, gather near. The doctor's in the house, so lend him your ear. The things he can say might even make your day. He might even help your pain go away. The doctor is in the house.
Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor is in the house. Welcome, everybody, to Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored, and his Wellness Warriors. Why do I call you a wellness warrior? Because I know you take charge of your own well-being. And because you're listening to this program, you are embracing a holistic approach to health and happiness. Because wellness is more than physical fitness. We have to also consider mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of our life as well. And I'm considering our wellness warriors as being proactive because they want to improve their overall quality of life. They want to find a balance in their lives. And the term wellness warrior, in my opinion, also embodies the spirit of bravery, respect, generosity, responsibility, humility, compassion, leadership, peacemaking, and spirituality. So that's why I call you, Dr. Ron's Wellness Warriors. And why today we're going to be talking about the future of medicine. Because in a world where medical error is one of the leading causes of death, you better be doing your own research and you better become a warrior. Your life may depend on it. So welcome. I'm going to be with you as an advocate for holistic health, but I want you to be the CEOs of your own body. Yes, you heard that right. Now more than ever, it's time to take the reins of your own health journey and become your captain. Today, we were going to have a visionary in the realm of frequency medicine, Dr. Jerry Smith. But we, because of circumstances beyond both of our controls, we will have that next week. But ladies and gentlemen, imagine a world where your body's own vibrations are harmonized, where ailments are treated at their core, or as Dr. Smith would say, get the splinter out. So ailments treated without disrupting the balance of our being. It's science rediscovered, and it's available to you right now. But there's a catch. The journey has to begin with you. You are the CEO of your body, as I said. You are the chief decision maker when it comes to your health. So let's delve a little deeper into this topic. And we will bring over the next couple of weeks a couple of experts, including Dr. Jerry, to talk about this future of medicine. And really, it's been around for thousands of years. You know, they call this alternative medicine. Wow. I mean, Rockefeller's petroleum-based medicine has only been around 100 and some years. Acupuncture and other healing modalities have been around thousands of years. So let's talk a little bit to get started about frequency healing. You'll hear people say it's an alternative therapy, but it's been around longer than, I say, the pill for an ill foundation of today's medicine. But it uses sound waves, vibrations, and currents, scalar energy, quantum physics to promote relaxation, reduce stress, improve overall well-being, and to treat diseases. So we can imagine our body as an instrument. If you want a guitar or a violin, your body vibrates at different frequencies dependent on your physical and emotional state. So when you're healthy and relaxed, your vibrations are harmonious. All the strings sound beautiful. But when you're stressed, you're unwell, you have a dis-ease, your vibrations become disharmonious. And the dis is part of the dis-ease process. And frequency healing, the healing of the future uses various methods. It can include tuning forks, it can include singing bowls, music, contact, electric coils, Tesla coils, to introduce specific vibrations into your body. These vibrations resonate with your own frequencies, reducing tension, promoting relaxation, killing viruses, killing bacteria, and even stimulating healing processes. When your radio, for those of you who remember the old AM, FM radios, when your radio dial is off the station, you get some static, right? The sound is distorted. But if you can adjust that dial just to the right frequency, you can get a clear and beautiful sound. Similarly, frequency healing aims to tune your body back to its optimal harmonious state. And overall, frequency healing should be gentle in its approach. And, just as an aside, allopathic medicine uses frequencies. I mean, what do you think electrocardiogram is? They're measuring the frequencies from your heart, the electroencephalogram measuring it from your brain, and on and on. They are using it for diagnostic purposes, and they're using ultrasound for treatment. Vibrations, ladies and gentlemen. So we want our bodies to be an in-tune symphonic orchestra. We don't want any off-key. And if it does get off-key, we need a conductor to step in and retune the instruments, to get the harmony back, to get our bioresonance back. And everything in the universe, ladies and gentlemen, vibrates at its own frequencies. When we experience dis-ease or imbalance or disharmony, that means there's something in our body that is playing wrong. It's out of tune. So we have to go to and find out, whether using divining rods or electronic equipment, where this vibration is gone wrong. And once we find it, well, the treatment will be easy. We can just augment the frequency that is low and bring it to a higher frequency so your body heals itself. We can give you the healing frequency in stones like quartz crystals or jade, magnetic cards, liquids, pastes, jewelry. So you can take this frequency home with you. Give your body that nudge back into harmony. It's a non-invasive way to support your body's ability. And your body has an innate ability to be healthy. So we want to nudge it to get back into its healing mode by getting the right frequencies to promote balance, vitality, and overall well-being. So that is a little basic about frequency healing. And if we have time, probably not today, we'll talk about remedies that can indeed be given once the imbalanced frequencies are noted. And as I said, frequencies can be infused into substances. We can use sound therapy, the solfeggio frequencies, which I'll give you one that you might want to try after this program. So let's start about a quote. Future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies, unquote. Albert Einstein, who probably wrote the most famous equation, E energy equals MC squared. And there is definitely an upsurge in interest in frequencies. and also what's called energy medicine. People are talking about it. And I think we see a resurgence of it since the COVID thing. Interestingly enough, people say, well, can they cause harm? And could others represent one of the key missing links in medicine and healthcare? Well, as we dive into this over the next week or so, you'll make up your own mind. So Einstein said that 120 years ago, he proposed the theory of mass energy equivalent encompassed by his general theory of relativity and the world's most famous equation. All about energy and mass. Not a lot of money to be made in that area, ladies and gentlemen. More to be made in pills and potions. So why don't we see more of it? Is it because the science hasn't progressed? Or it hasn't been shown to be effective? Well, I'll give you one point. It is true that the science hasn't progressed as much as the likes of Einstein and Tesla and Royal Rife and Fritz Popp. They're definitely the pioneers. But also, there's not a lot of money to be made healing people and curing their illnesses rather than give them medicine that they have to take for the rest of their lives. You know, Dr. Popp, Fritz Albert Popp, early in his career, he noticed that different chemical compounds, some were carcinogenic, causing cancers, and others wouldn't. And early on, he discovered biophotons. By shining light through these chemical substances, he could see which ones dispersed the lights randomly and which ones were more coherent. The ones that were coherent didn't cause any problem. The ones that were not coherent caused cancer. So you would think somebody would jump on that, but not too many hear about that anymore. And that was back in 1922. He discovered how DNA communicates with each other by weak emissions of energy. He called them biophotons. And he actually developed the biophoton theory of life. And that theory proposes that coherent light emissions function in a quantum area and are the primary controllers of biochemical and molecular processes. In other words, he proposed that light emissions control everything in our body. And as I said, his group found that the cell's DNA was the most important source of biophotonic emissions. So if your DNA communicates with other cells in your body's DNA through electronic emissions, wouldn't you think we should be studying that more? I would think so. And that brings me back, just as an aside, a little rabbit hole. Did you know that many chronic diseases are caused by factors such as exposure to man-made EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, often ignored by 99% of doctors, but EMFs can harm your body in many ways, damaging what? Your DNA and weakening your immune system. I have told you on this program many times how your microbiome and your DNA communicate using light waves. And if the EMFs destroy it, destroy that light wave, you get sick. And you're more prone to chronic diseases, autoimmune diseases, cancer, depression. How many are having problems sleeping? How many are anxious? How many of you have tried every medication out there that your doctor can order, every fad diet, but never thought about healing frequencies? So EMFs, when you're talking about electromagnetic fields, the Wi-Fi's, there's your cell phones in your pocket. You're talking about frequencies. Sure, everybody's worried about cancer, but you know what? How about fertility? How about our children? How about the fetuses in the utero? How about our brain health? How about antibiotic resistance? All these could be influenced by the bad frequencies. So we have good frequencies that we're talking about, the healing ones, and there are bad frequencies, and they can be counteracted by treatment from a physician who knows energy medicine. So definitely research has been slowed down because not everybody's working in this field. As I say, the research money goes into drugs, not into healing. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of the drug companies and big pharma. But let's go back and talk about how energy systems can be found in almost every hospital. I told you about an electrocardiograph, right? I told you about electroencephalographs, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, uses magnetic energy. And they all rely on the body's bioelectromagnetic system. So it seems a reason why this system has been neglected boils down to the pharmaceutical industry's purposeful anchoring of treatment modalities in the area of biochemistry, not bioenergy. A pill for an ill model of business. So treatments like acupuncture, acupressure, reflexology, homeopathy, qigong, flower remedies, magnetic therapy, just to name a few, they all work with the human energetic biofield, not biochemistry, but biofield. So if you find a practitioner that uses this, he'll be called a fringe doctor, right? But the traditional Chinese medicine has been around forever. So many fail to recognize, ladies and gentlemen, that the proponents of energy medicine, like Socrates alluded that what you don't know, you don't know. So if we take it a step further, they choose not to investigate what they don't know, especially when it comes to the field of bioenergy medicine. So of course they're not going to know about it because they don't care about it. So just remember, frequencies are vibrations, and they're specific to everything in this universe. why, I talked to you earlier on about grounding. We have so much positive protons in our environment. We need electrons. You get them by walking on Mother Earth. You get that by hugging a tree, sleeping on a earthing blanket, a grounding blanket. So I don't want to get all into all of the science behind it, but everything has a frequency. Everything has a frequency. You walk into a room and you know whether you like a person or not. Your energy fields are reacting with one another. And you hear some music, it's quote music to your ears because that music is coherent with your own vibrations of your own body. That's part of energy healing. So there are many, many articles coming out now about frequency healing. How does it work? What do you do? And just remember, frequency healing consists either of disrupting unwanted frequencies, like say you have an infection. You find out what that frequency is and you bombard it at higher levels to destroy it. And that would be called amplifying the healthy frequencies. Remember the old commercial where someone sings and they break a glass? Same thing if you have an infection. You find out what the frequency of that infection is and you amplify it. So the glass breaks, the virus breaks, the bacteria break. I hope you understand that. But if you're in great health, you can also have frequency delivered at the right amplitude that your body's resonating at to keep you healthy, so that you do not get disease, so you do not have disharmony. And we could imprint the frequencies of 528, which is the solfeggio frequency, sometimes called the magic frequency, into water as a carrier, and you can drink it. It's like energy information. We could directly apply it to you. Even just consider vibration. We could vibrate it into your body. So we're starting to see a little bit of a shift in people not trusting the doctors or the drugs that they're given. And it goes back to Einstein and Tesla with his E equals MC squared, where he proved that energy and matter were the same substance, but they vibrated differently. So what's the miracle frequency? Let's end with this. 528 hertz. It's called the miracle frequency or the love frequency. And it has the ability to repair our DNA. It's one of the solfeggio frequencies and has a powerful healing effect. Why am I telling you this? Well, you can go to YouTube and look it up and play it. See how you feel. See if it doesn't make you feel better and stronger. Or if you're feeling fatigued and maybe have some sort of what we'll call for practical purposes a viral type of illness, try that solfeggio frequency. 528. It repairs human DNA and keeps it in a good state of health too. So this is just, I hope I'm not too confusing you, but it's, it's just like healing frequencies, like tuning an orchestra, tuning a guitar, keeping everything in harmony. And when it's out of harmony, and we can test that, we can do a test that involves your symptoms and feelings. We can muscle test you. That's called kinesiology. We can use biofeedback. And we could use a pulse diagnosis like we do in acupuncture. We could use divining rods. We can use electronic equipment. Like what Dr. Jerry and I are finding now is a lot of people have glyphosate. Glyphosate is Roundup. By the way, Roundup is still in Cheerios, gents and girls. It's still in Cheerios. Why would you want to eat it? It's toxic. We're finding it in the brains of people with dementia. We're finding it in almost every organ system of the body. And we're doing it mainly through bioresonance testing and divining rods. And so, if you're not feeling too good, I would even advise, the treatment for that is multiple. It involves a lot of things. But one thing you could do every day is take 3,000 milligrams of glycine. Roundup is glyphosate. It replaces the glycine in your body. So let's put it back in and get rid of the glyphosate. But that can be a physician who practices energy medicine can detect that. And everybody has a measurable biofield. Every one of us. There are technologies out there called, especially the Kirlian electrophotography. They take a picture of your body and you can see the biofield. And every cell in our body emits some kind of light or biophotons. Again, going back to the work of Fritz Albert Popp. Okay, so we'll talk more about DNA and the history of the Earth and the Earth magnetic fields. We live in magnetic fields, right? North Pole, South Pole, they're magnets. We live in this every day, but we don't think about electromagnetic forces on Earth because it's not talked about very much. So don't you think, the body would be attuned to electromagnetic forces because they've always been on Mother Earth? And it can affect how we have harmony or disharmony. And we'll talk more about that. And we'll talk about water, which is vital to life. It's not just a bunch of molecules. There's structured water, easy water that Dr. Pollack discovered at the University of Washington. And that's the water in our body. That's the water that's like Jello. You can see your imprint of your finger if you put it in Jello, but if you put it in regular water, you won't. Well, this easy water, this structured water, can carry the frequency imprint all around our body. It can transmit energy. Structured water. And next week we'll talk about, if you haven't heard the story of the salamander and why it can regenerate, and why, as you get higher up on the scale of life, we have a harder time regenerating our limbs and cells and curing cancer in ourselves. So this is just an introduction. We do miss Dr. Jerry today, but he'll be with us next week. where we'll delve deeper into this topic. And if you have some friends that are curious about it, they can tune in. So the future of medicine is in this area: vibrations, frequencies, energy. So let's take that leap. And we will have to give you some idea of the effectiveness of remedies. Okay, because if you have all this energy, all this information about what frequency healing is and how to diagnose it, they'll be interested. I think you would be interested, and it would be my duty to tell you the remedies and how effective they are. So let's leave today's podcast with one other quote from Hippocrates. Quote, "If you are not your own doctor, you are a fool." Well, it's getting that way in all of our life. We have to be more conscious of taking care of ourselves. We cannot depend on other people, other agencies to take care of us. Medicine is the fourth leading cause of death in the United States. Most elderly have at least one chronic disease that requires medication for the rest of their lives. Wouldn't it be nice to get to the root cause of what's bothering you, have it treated with a frequency modulation of one sort or another that is available today and does not require drugs, pharmaceuticals that have side effects, and then you take another pill for the side effect that it caused. So that's where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Ron, and I want to have more wellness warriors join us on our journey. Our basic way to get out is on Podbean, Podbean, but we're also on Spotify and Apple and almost any place that you can get podcasts. And we're also going to be posting on X, which was Twitter, and Rumble, and BitChute, because we're going to start having some video podcasts also. And we'll start that blog. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. God bless. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, he's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. And let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. And let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. So if you have a pain, call the doctor. If you have a strain, call the doctor. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. See you next week.